perspective on race relations in the 1960s was, just so that you get a perspective, I was 12 to 22 years old. So I was in my teenage years and early 20s. And didn't understand it until I went to college, probably, when I was 18. And then that was in the midst of it. And it all hit. And on campus, we had riots. They had to close my campus, my university down and give us spring break 3 weeks early because there was so much chaos going on and destruction going on. I chose not to be a part of it because my family had always been very liberal and been taught that everybody was equal, so I didn't understand that people weren't. And so when all of this was going on, it was sort of crazy to me. But closed campus down. My brother, who is 2 years younger than me, happened to be going to college up in Bowling Green, Ohio, when Kent State, I don't know if you ever heard of that, but they had a riot and kids were killed by the military. And he was there when it all happened. He had gone up to participate. So when I say I didn't participate, it didn't mean that my family didn't know what was going on, and it because my brother was very involved. It just sort of meant I was more on the peripheral. I was on the older, little bit older edge of it, and had always been taught that everybody was equal, so chose not to get involved.
Did you ever realize that there was segregation, like when you were in elementary school or middle school or maybe high school?
I did, and I'll tell you why I did. Not because of my school, because my school was all white. And I graduated with 500 kids, so it's not a little school. It was a huge school. It just happened to be a whole white community. But I did because when we'd take the bus to go downtown, we were always told, when you go through a certain part of town, there are going to be people that get on the bus that you need to be scared of. And those were people of a different color. And so, and we weren't told this by our parents. I mean, we were told that's what the community believed. So when I say, obviously some parents were telling it, my parents weren't. So yes, I was very aware of it, but was never, I really don't feel I was ever really exposed to it until I was in college.
Okay. And what changes do you think the nation still needs to make today?
Oh, I think there are lots of them. I think they're a lot more subtle now. I'm not sure it's a black and white issue. I think it's more there are other races that I think we are probably prejudiced against. So I think it's just sort of made, turned the circle a little bit. We seem to feel better about working together, but not with everybody yet. And I think we have a long way to go. I really do. I think it's more subtle now than as obvious as it was maybe back in my days when I was young. So.
Thank you very much.
You're very welcome.